All right, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sarah, and I am excited to be here with you all today, even though we're not physically with each other. This has been really awesome just to kind of flow and get to know some of you guys either on or off screen, and I am here after class too if you'd like to chat. Today's flow, like I mentioned, if you weren't here before, we're going to do a hip opener flow today. So lots of movement through figure four, standing figure four, and different variations of figure four legs today. So you do want to have two blocks for this flow, as well as a strap. And a strap could be a belt or a towel. Blocks could be hard-covered books or extra water bottles, things like that. Let's go ahead and get started here on our mats. We're going to begin in a easy seat. I'm going to come into a cross-legged position, but if you prefer to sit on your shins, that would also be welcomed here. If you'd like support underneath of your hips to elevate your hips so that your knees can soften down gently, you might slide a blanket or a pillow if you're at home, something underneath for support. Anywhere where you can find a nice tall spine. So let your arms relax down on top of your thighs. Ground down through both sits bones, and then sit up nice and tall. Reach out through the crown of your head, lengthening out through the back of your neck. Take your gaze either down to the floor or close your eyes completely here. Right away, let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Build breath into the belly, into the ribs. As you exhale, a cleansing breath out the mouth. Inhaling through your nose, fill up from the bottom to the top. And exhaling out the mouth to release any stale air you're holding on to. And then one more breath in together. Breathe in, fill in all directions. Exhale, open the mouth until you find empty. And now seal your lips. Allow the breath to travel in through the nose. Back out through the nose. Starting to cultivate your yogic breath. Notice the subtle rising as you inhale. And the subtle softening as you exhale. In our yoga practice, we can watch the breath as it ebbs and flows, as we lift and lower, as we rise and fall. And this constant relationship continues to go on throughout our class, not only with the breath, but as we begin to link breath and movement together, that ebb and flow continues to happen. Where there's strength, there's softness in another place. Where there's power, there's ease somewhere else. And I started to think about that a little bit in just what's happening in our world today, with social distancing being the new social norm. How we combat social distancing is sort of up to us. We sort of have to figure out what works well for our bodies, and it may be different than what our friends are doing online, our family, what they're sharing. It's a nice time for us to kind of check in and decide what it is that we need to care for ourselves. What kind of routines or experiences are you having? Are you staying committed to so that your mind has a place to stay constant? Your mind has a purpose or a reason to work towards something. So having a routine, as we were speaking about earlier, is a really nice way for us to stay grounded. And it's also a way for us to sort of feel like we're still in control. So maybe there's other self-care things that you're doing at home. Today we can bring this self-care item into our practice and know that what we're doing here on our mat each and every day gives back to the mind, the body, and the spirit. It helps us to grow, gives us those opportunities to further ourselves. With that in mind, bring your hands together at your heart, continuing on with your breath in and out through the nostrils. And just take a couple of breaths here to seal in your intention. Any other added intentions, go ahead and let them head into your thoughts and let them be known. Send them out into the universe with each breath. On your next exhale, let your palms relax down on top of your thighs. Let your eyes flutter open and take on light. Slide your hands either to the tops of your knees or your shins. And start to slide the palms back towards your hip creases. Squeeze your elbows together, broaden across your chest. As you exhale, round through your spine for a seated cat pose. Bring your chin to your chest. Let your arms straighten out. And now in a flow, inhale, bring your heart forward, option to gaze up. Exhale, round through the spine and let your back, neck release. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. You can take these fast or slow. And just finding some flexion and extension. Finding the breath now linking with the movement. And come back to a neutral spine when you feel satisfied. Stretch your arms up overhead. Breathe in. And as you exhale, bring your right hand down. Stretch your left arm up and then over. Roll your shoulder head back. Look over to the left and then reestablish your bend, your depth to stretch through that left side body. Circle the arm down through center and on an inhale, reach both arms overhead. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Stretch your right arm up and over. And now back out of the posture so you can find the correct alignment. Stacking now your right shoulder on top of your left. Make sure your gaze is soft, somewhere where you find ease around the head, neck, and shoulders. Keep stretching long through your top arm, circle it down through center, and then come back up to the sky. As you exhale, slide your hands down by your sides and bring your hands to your knees. Moving in a circle in one direction, doesn't matter which way. Get low to the ground as you inhale. And then round through the back as you exhale. So kind of a seated cat-cow in a circle. As you inhale, draw your heartstrings forward. As you exhale, round through your spine, lean back. And then when you feel satisfied, change directions. Move in the opposite direction here. And this gets into the side bodies, already starting to connect the front and back, the side to side. We'll move into some twists after this to connect the front and back side of the body. And then when you're ready, go ahead and come back to center. On an inhale, stretch your arms up. On an exhale, take a twist over to your right. Bring your right hand either to the ground behind you or to your tailbone, low back. Lift up through the crown of your head. Breathe in. Exhale, pull your belly button in. Breathe out. Inhale, reach both arms overhead. As you exhale, take a twist to the left again, making sure that the spine stays nice and long as you do, and then twist deeper on your exhales. Inhale, both arms stretch to the sky, and as you exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. Shifting forward, come onto both knees and come into a tabletop position. Coming onto all fours. Stack your shoulders over wrists, your hips over knees. And on an inhale, I'm actually going to turn to face towards you so you can see me here. On an inhale, lengthen your right leg back behind you. Toes are pointed down towards the earth. Breath in to stretch the left arm forward with your thumb pointed up towards the sky, spinal balance. Pull the belly button in and up. Your gaze should be just about a foot forward past the top of your right fingertips. Keep the length out the back of the neck. Now on an exhale, reach your left arm out to the left. I'm sorry, I guess your guys' right arm out to the right, and then your left leg out to the left. Take an inhale, and then exhale. Go ahead and set the foot down. You're going to reach this right arm underneath and thread the needle. Left hand is either press away or wrap around the back. And taking the left hand back under the shoulder, stretch the right arm back up to the sky, bring the hand under the shoulder and the right knee back underneath of the hip. I'll be opposite here for this first round, extending your left leg out, reach it back behind you, toes pointing down, and then right arm reaches forward with your thumb pointed up for spinal balance. Feel that core integrity. Left hip dials down to the floor. Reach out through your right fingertips just as much as you're stretching back with the left heel. And now right fingertips reach out to the right. Left leg lifts out and reaches out to the left. Try to keep your heel in line with your hip. Lower your foot, lower your hand down. Let's thread the needle, bringing that right shoulder and temple to the earth, and then opposite palm presses away, or take it behind the back for a deeper stretch here. Breathing in, and then bring the left hand under the shoulder, reach the right arm up. Hand comes down, and knee comes back under hip. We'll meet in a tabletop position. From tabletop position, walk your knees wider. Bring your toe pads together to touch. Sink your hips back to your heels and then stretch your arms out for child's pose. Lengthening your forehead, either rest it on your palms, on a block, or on the mat. Breathing in and breathing out. Gazing forward, slither on forward here onto your belly. Forehead comes all the way down, hands stay under the shoulders. Press into the tops of your feet. Lift your head, lift your heart, lift your palms. Breathe in and exhale, breathe out, lower back down. Again, press into the feet, lift your knees off the mat, lift your head, lift your chest, lift your palms. Extend your arms back by your sides, lift your legs off the mat. Squeeze your pinky fingers in towards one another for locust pose or shalavasana. Think about reaching your fingertips and your toes straight back. Lift your low ribs on an inhale. Lift your mid-thighs on an exhale. Lower down, right cheek to the mat. Breathe in and out. Bring your chin back to the earth. Interlace your hands behind your back. Pull your knuckles back. Squeeze the heels of your palms together. Now lift your head and chest. Lift your legs and your feet off the mat. Locust pose again, this time with the hands interlaced. Stretch your knuckles straight back. Lift your heart and chest. Lift your low ribs, inhale. Lift your mid-thighs, exhale. Lower down, left cheek to the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your chin back to the earth. Slide your hands next to your low ribs so that your elbows stack directly over your wrists. A little bit further back this time. Squeeze your elbows in. Press down through the palms, lift all the way up until your arms straighten. Option to stay here or press into the tops of your feet and lift your thighs for upward facing dog. Soft bend in your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades back. Pull your belly button to your spine to take care of any crunching or any sensation you feel in the low back here. Roll over the knees or the toes and head back to downward facing dog. Pedal out through your knees, maybe your first down dog of the day. Feet should be hip width distance, hands should be shoulder width distance. Gaze is back at your toes, knees, or thighs. We're lengthening out through the tailbone here. So soft micro bend in the knees, extend your tailbone longer. Wrap your triceps down towards the floor. If you can't do that, lift your torso 1 or 2 inches and then take that wrap. It might be that you're pressing back too far. You're not allowing the triceps to wrap down towards the earth, which helps us give that upper arm all that strength that we need for those chaturangas later on. On an inhale, lift up onto your tiptoes, look forward. Bend your knees and tiptoe your feet up to meet your hands, tiny little steps. Take a breath in when you get there, halfway lift, sliding the hands up the shins, the knees or thighs. Our legs are still bending here, pressing down through all 4 corners of both feet. As you exhale, bend your knees a lot, grab a hold of opposite elbows and find ragdoll pose. Let your head hang in that shape you made with your arms. Let the weight shift forward, back, and side to side. You can do this with your hips or your upper body. Shake out your head, yes and no. Let your fingertips drop all the way down. Start to roll up the spine, one vertebra at a time, nice and slow. Shoulder heads back and down. Stretch the arms overhead. And exhale, hands come down to your heart, Samastitihi. As you inhale, sweep your arms up. Look up, and as you exhale, goal post your arms, little back bend. Inhale, sweep both arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands through heart center. Inhale, lengthen halfway. As you exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank. Shifting forward, option to lower knees, lower halfway to your hover, shoulders in line with elbows. Inhale, lift into lower high cobra, yogi's choice. Exhale, send your hips up and back. Find downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. On an inhale, lift up onto your toes. Look forward, bend your knees. 2 big steps up to the top. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky, reach up. Exhale, goal post your wings. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Shifting forward, option to keep knees lifted, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, open into cobra, lower high, press through your thumb and index finger and send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in through the nose. Breath out to let it go. Inhale, lift up onto your toes, look where you're going. Bend your knees, this time walk, step, or hop, feet to hands, light. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, lift up, look forward. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms and vinyasa your way. So you might even step right back or hop back right into your chaturanga. Move through your flow, following your breath. Inhale and exhale once you get back to downward facing dog. Remind yourself to find a micro bend in the knees and make sure you're lifted through your torso so you're able to wrap your triceps towards the floor. Feet together at the back of your mat. With an inhale, stretch your right leg to the sky. 3-legged dog. On an exhale, draw your knee to your nose and round your spine. Good. Inhale, lift the leg back up. As you exhale, step your foot forward in between your hands. Low lunge. Bring your back heel down and your toes at a 45. Stretch the arms up for warrior one or Virabhadrasana Eka. So as we come into warrior one, we want our hips to square off to the top of the mat. The only way that we can do that is by making sure our left toes are somewhat pointed forward. If they're pointed out to the side, like a warrior 2 leg, that left hip bone's going to point out to the side. So instead, adjust and widen your foot. Your stance may not be as long as your warrior 2. And then stretch your arms overhead. Spiral your pinky fingers towards one another. Relax your shoulder blades down. You may look up or out in front. With an inhale, grow taller through your fingertips. And now open it up. Now the left foot heel toes back and we turn the toes out to the side. So our left hip and our torso twists out to the side. Our gaze, our right knee and toes face directly forward towards 12 o'clock. Squeeze your glutes together. Bend a little deeper through your front knee. Make sure you're anchoring down through the back foot. Staying relaxed through your shoulders. With an inhale, flip the front palm, reverse warrior up and back. Left hand can find the back leg or wrap around the back. Stay committed to the bend in your right knee. Keep that right knee tracking over the ankle. Lift up and out of your right hip crease. As you exhale, bring your right forearm to your thigh. Sweep your left arm over the ear line and then turn your thumb up towards the ceiling. Extended side angle. Even though we're reaching, keep that shoulder in its socket. Use the bottom palm to rotate your left rib and your gaze to the sky. Firmly plant through your back left pinky toe. Make sure the inner arch of both feet are lifting. And now inhale, reverse your warrior up and back. As you exhale, come back into warrior two. Take an inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, shift forward, and lower chaturanga. Inhale, open to high cobra, or your cobra, and exhale, send the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. I'm going to turn the other way just so you can see me a little bit better as we flow. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist. Inhale, lift the heel. Exhale, step your foot forward. Bringing the back heel in, turn your toes out 45, and then sweep your arms up, warrior one. So again, play around. You may need to adjust quite a bit once you get up into your stance. Look back at the back foot and make sure that the pinky edge side of the foot is really firmly planted. Hips are squaring to the top of your mat. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Reach your arms back in space. Breathe in. Exhale, now mess that all up and open into warrior two. So now the right foot heel toe is wider and the right toes and foot turn to a 90 degree. Take your arms out to the horizon, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Glutes are working towards one another to lengthen the tailbone down. And then we get a rising action out of the spine, out through the crown of the head. Anchor down through your feet, lift up through your crown. With an inhale, flip the front palm, reverse warrior up and back. And we're not moving so far to where we're reaching. It does feel nice to do that, but then we start to take the length out of both side bodies, and we want equal length there. So you may even take your back hand to your back body and your side body here, just so that you're maintaining that length versus depth, just because we want to get further into the posture. Left arm comes down to the forearm, right arm stretches over the ear line, and then turn the right thumb up towards the sky. Now rotate. Use your bottom arm as a lever to press away from the thigh and rotate your right ribs open. Press firmly through the right pinky edge side of your foot. Squeeze your glutes together and lengthen your tailbone back towards your right heel. Inhale, reverse warrior up and back. And now exhale, warrior two. Take a breath in. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step back to plank. Shifting forward, inhale. Exhale, lower to your hover. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, send the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Stay for your breath out. And now in a flow. 2 more times through, same movements. 1 breath per movement this time. Inhale, the right leg reaches. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, step it through. Find your warrior one legs and inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, open into warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm. Reverse. Exhale, extended side angle, forearm to thigh or your variation. Inhale, reverse. And now go right through warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down, step back, lower. Inhale, open. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, the left leg reaches up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up. Exhale, step it through. Warrior one as you inhale. Warrior two as you exhale. Reverse warrior, breathe in. Extended side angle, breathe out. Reverse warrior, breathe in. Cartwheel all the way through warrior two, down, step back, and lower. Big breath in, opens the chest. Full breath out, hips to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale to release. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, reverse, peaceful warrior. Exhale, Parsvakonasana. Inhale, back to reverse. And exhale, down to the floor. Step back, follow your exhale. Big inhale opens the chest. Exhale to the sky. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, step it through. Ground the back heel and inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, open warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse, stay in that one plane. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, find your push-up or skip it. You can always come back and meet in downward facing dog. Breath in through the nose. Breath out through the mouth. One more like that, breathe in. Out the mouth, breathe out. Inhale, lift up onto your tiptoes, look forward, bend your knees, and exhale, travel to the top of your mat, land lightly. Breath in, lift halfway. Breath out, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Walk your feet out a little bit wider and come into chair. So a wide-legged chair. Hands can come to heart center. Good. Take a twist to your right. So for you guys, you're going to hook your left elbow to the inside of your left thigh. Twisting to the right, press down with your top palm and reach your heart open. You might take your right arm to the sky and maybe left fingers down to the earth. Come back through center. Take your right elbow, hook it to the inside of your right knee or thigh. Twist, press down with the left palm. Stay here or lift your left palm to the sky. Option to bring right fingers to the earth. Come back through center. And now bring your hands to the earth. Walk your feet in closer. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me a little bit better. Heels of the palms are flat on the mat or on blocks, whichever comes first. Lift up onto the ball mounds of your feet. Bring your heels together. So you're in sort of this rounding or cat back. Bring your knees to your upper arm bones. Look forward. And if you're just starting to play around with crow, just play around with shifting the weight into chaturanga arms. Elbows have to bend. Play around with lifting one foot towards your glute. Come back down and then take that to the other side. Or if you're working towards full crow, really pour the weight, look forward, make sure your gaze is about a foot forward. And as you squeeze heels into glutes, work to pull the belly button in and up. Your gaze is still forward. Weight is shifting into your fingertips. The whites of your fingernails should be shining through. And then on a breath out, you can either step, hop, float it back. However you want to get back to down dog is totally up to you. Let's meet in that upward or downward facing dog, upside down V. Breath in through the nose and breath out to let it go here. On your next inhale, lift up onto your toes, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, walk, step, or hop, feet to hands. Lengthen with the breath in. Fold with your breath out. If you have a strap, go ahead and grab it. Come all the way to stand. Reach your arms up and bring your hands to your heart. So there's a couple of ways that we can move through our standing balance. If you don't have a strap, I will show you the modification. If you do have a strap, you may be taking the posture into sort of a more advanced variation with the support of the strap, or maybe not using the strap at all. But we are going to start by grounding down through our right foot first. Bring your left heel inside of a strap if you have a strap. And then let's all come up with the knee in line with the hip here. So if you don't have a strap, you're going to grab underneath of your thigh, interlacing the hands. Right foot is grounded, left knee is lifted. Stay here or extend the leg out if you don't have a strap. If you have a strap, extend the leg out. I like to grab on both ends just so that I'm pulling back with the same amount of force with both arms, and that way I'm keeping my shoulder blades square to the top of the mat. Soft bend through your standing leg to help you balance, or if you have the space available, you might also be grabbing big toe with your peace fingers, and again, making sure that those shoulder blades are square here. So kind of move where you can today. And as you are working your way to hand to big toe pose B next, you can start by bending the knee, and maybe you're supporting the knee out there, right, if you don't have a strap. If you have a strap, you might be lengthening the leg. If you're able to keep a hold of your big toe, you might also be lengthening the leg out to the side there. So however you get into your hand to big toe pose B is totally up to you. Right arm can come out to support the balance a little bit more. And then as you bend into your left knee, go ahead and slide the foot either to the inside or above or a little below the knee there. So we're bringing it to the inside of our leg. If you have a strap, you can go ahead and set it down. Bring your hands to your heart center. Lengthen your tailbone down, lift up through the crown of your head. Squeeze your glutes together so you can press your left knee back in space. Take an inhale, and now exhale, cross your left ankle over your right knee and sit down into your figure four seat. So find something on the floor that's not moving in front of you. The tendency will be to lean forward with your torso, but try to stay lifted through your heart and your chest. Take a big breath in here. And as you exhale, start to lower down. I'm going to come back so I can find my blocks here. Lower down enough where you can grab your blocks. And then come onto the ball mound of your left foot. Begin to lower down until your hips sit on top of your heel. Walking your blocks under your shoulder is going to give you a little bit more of a sturdier balance, because as we lift through the crown of the head, the more length in the spine, the better here. And just so that we're not here for so long, keep a hold of your blocks or hands by your sides. Extend your right leg out, and now bend your knee in and lift the leg up and back. Releasing through your left hip flexors right into standing splits. Bring your nose close to your left shin and leg, or your right shin and leg. And then step your lifted toes back. Inhale, reach the arms up, high crescent lunge. Stay lifted on the ball mound of the back foot. Lunge a little deeper into your front right knee. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down to frame your foot. Sweep your right arm to the sky, simple twist. Inhale here. And as you exhale, bring the right hand on the inside of your foot, lower the back heel, and turn to the side of your mat for Skandasana. Hands can come to heart center for extra balance, or to a block for support. Bring your hands back around to frame your front foot, your right. Step back into high plank. Inhale shifts you forward. Exhale, lower down for your push-up. Breath in, open the chest. Breath out, send the hips back. Downward facing dog. Take an inhale and an exhale. With your next breath in, lift up onto your tiptoes. Look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, travel to the top. Lengthen with your inhale. Fold with your exhale. And if you have a strap, go ahead and grab it. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands come to the heart. So coming back to face towards you this time, our left leg is going to stay grounded and our right knee is going to lift in line with the hip. So to modify, interlace the hands under the thigh and extend the leg out. Or if you have a strap, loop the strap underneath of your foot. And then as you extend the strap out, stand up tall through the shoulders, or maybe hand to big toe pose, and left hand coming to the hip. Breathe in, breathe out, and now extend right leg out to the right, hand to big toe pose B, Left hand can come out to the left for a little extra balance. Challenge, maybe looking over to the left fingers with your gaze. And now bend into the knee. Find your tree pose. So placing the foot either below or above the knee there. Bring your hands to your heart center. Press your palms together. Sit up nice and tall through the spine. So really pressing down through that left foot and reaching up through the crown of your head. Now take your right ankle and cross it over the left knee. Begin to lower down into your figure 4 seat. So hips are squaring. If you have your blocks handy, you can grab them here. We're going to start to lower down until we're able to sit onto our right heel. So I don't have my blocks this time, but if you don't have blocks, you'll kind of keep your hands underneath. Figure 4 toe stand. We kind of sit right onto the heel and then finding something to stare at in front of us. That's not moving. You can test your balance if you like. I'm going to turn back just so I can grab my blocks. If you don't have your blocks, I highly recommend grabbing a pair. And then extending the left leg out to straighten it, bend the knee and send the your right leg up into the sky for standing splits. Breathing in and breathing out, step back into your crescent lunge. Arms reach up to the sky, big inhale. And now as you exhale, come down to frame your front foot and sweep your left arm to the sky, simple twist. Scissor hug, left hip back in space. Bring your left hand down on the inside of your left foot. Bring your back heel down and turn to the side of your mat as you lift up through your crown, Skandasana, or big side bend into that front knee. Come around to frame your front foot, your left foot. Step back into high plank, moving through a flow, or you can skip the flow and just head right back to down dog. Always up to you. Slide this stuff out of the way there. And we'll meet in that downward facing dog. Pedal out the knees a little bit. That was quite a bit of work on each leg as we found different balance postures, linking them together. With your next inhale, lift up onto your toes, look forward, bend your knees, and exhale, walk, step, or hop, feet to hands. Lengthen with your breath in. Fold with your breath out. Reach your arms to the sky, all the way up, and hands seal back to the heart. On an inhale, reach your arms out and up. And as you exhale, keep your arms extended. Bring your right knee into your chest. Good. Bring your hands down to your heart and find your figure 4 seat. So cross the ankle over, sit down. Turn back so you can see me a little bit better on this side here. Good. And then starting to work our way down again, bringing either chest to your shins. You could start to hook the right toes around the arm there. Hands can come down either to your mat or your blocks. Again, wherever the heel of the palm is able to flatten out. So this would probably be a good spot to find some blocks. As you hook your right toes around your left upper arm, just like we did in crow earlier, lifting onto the ball mound of the bottom foot, pouring the weight forward into chaturanga arms. We might have to heel toe that foot out. But again, squeezing heel towards the glute, you might be able to catch some air time there. Or as you work your way through flying pigeon, you can start to again shift the weight and then maybe see if your top leg can extend out. Play around a little bit, otherwise we're simply forward folding here. Let's all meet in that forward fold wherever you're at. Bring the blocks under your shoulders, a little bit out to the side here. Come back up onto the ball of your bottom foot and then sink down to sit onto your heel, finding your figure 4 toe stand. And this time we're going to walk our hands behind us to find a figure 4 seat. So you'll likely need to walk your bottom leg out a little bit. And then bring your hands next to your hips here, or right underneath of your shoulders rather. Sit up nice and tall for a nice big figure 4 stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. And then lean back so that you can draw toes to the mat to start, but as you find your balance point on your sits bones, bring your shins parallel to the earth. Hands will come underneath of the knees. Stretch your arms out to the horizon for a little extra heat here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take another inhale. And now exhale, lower down by your feet, or you can extend the arms for a little bit of core work there. Simply window wiper your knees, left and right, left and right. A few different times to release the low back. And then go ahead and lift the knees to the sky. Reach your arms down by your sides. Lift your hips off of the mat and extend your right leg up. Take an inhale. Point your toe, hover the leg as you lower, and then flex the foot and lift. Point the toe, lower, flex the foot and lift. 2 more. Point the toe, lower, flex the foot and lift. Last one. Point the toe, lower, flex the foot, lift the hips. Keep the hips lifted. Lower your right foot down and lower 1 vertebra at a time. Hips back to the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale. 1 more like that. Breathe in and out. Press through the backs of the arms, your feet. Lift your hips up off the mat, right into the other side. Ekapada, or one-legged bridge pose. Press down through the right foot. Lift your left leg to the sky. Point your toe. Lower the leg to hover. Flex the foot and lift. Lower leg, hover. Flex and lift. 3 more. Point, lower. Flex and lift. Lower down. Flex and lift. Good. Last one. Point the toe, lower heel hovers. Flex the foot and lift. Keep the hips lifted. Lower your left foot down and lower 1 vertebra at a time. Slowly back onto your mat. Hug your knees in. Find happy baby to release your quadriceps. Either reaching for your ankles, the arches of your feet, or big toes. And then finding movement or stillness there. Stay relaxed and grounded through the back of your head, neck, tailbone. Gather your knees together. Cross 1 ankle over the other and begin to rock and roll forward and back. Good. Forward and back. Find a little momentum here. And then eventually we're going to rock and roll all the way back to down dog. So if you'd like to plant the palms, you can hop, step, float it back, work your way through. And let's be back into downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And a full breath out. On your next inhale, lift up onto your toes, look forward. Bend your knees and exhale, walk, step, or hop feet to hands. Lengthen with your breath in. Fold with your breath out. On an inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. Keep your arms extended this time. And bring your left knee to your chest. Hands come to your heart center. Cross the ankle over and find your figure 4. Turn back to the side again. This time lowering down, chest to your shin. Hands come to the earth or to blocks. Hook your left toes around the outer upper arm of your right. And then start to come onto the ball mound of your bottom foot. As you bring your knee, your upper leg there to your arm shelf, begin to pour the weight forward, and you might just be here today kind of feeling that weight out. You might be working to lift the heel and squeeze it towards the glute. If you have that and you want to find a little bit more, see if you can extend your top leg long for flying pigeon. Wherever you're at, we're going to meet in our figure 4, forward fold, and then grab our blocks. So we're kind of leaning over with our torso. Now grab the blocks, bring them under your shoulders, come up onto the ball mound of your bottom foot, and then sink your hips down until you're able to sit onto your heel. Keep your blocks here just for a little bit of support. And then I'd go without blocks. As you come down, lower your bottom heel, lower the hands, lower your bum. Figure 4 seat. Walk your bottom foot out if the tightness in the hips is too much. And then walk your hands further in to sit up taller. Try to press your knee away. Flex your front foot. And feel that outer hip opening here. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Lean back. Bring one shin parallel to the earth, the other shin parallel. Hands can come underneath knees for support, or arms reach out to the horizon. Option to keep knees bent or lengthen legs long. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bend your knees, bring your feet to the mat, grab one of those blocks and roll on down to your backs. Walk your feet in a little bit if they moved away from your glutes. If you have a block or pillow, lift your hips and slide it underneath of your sacrum, level 1 or 2. And then either pause here in restorative bridge or lengthen your legs long for a hip flexor opening. You could also reach your arms overhead if you like. We get a nice little back bend along with the hip flexor stretch. If this is too intense, you could bend one of your knees and just do one leg at a time. You could also do legs up to the sky if you want a supported inversion. We're here for the next 2 cycles of breath. After that second exhale, walk your heels in underneath of your knees. Bring your arms down by your sides, lift your hips, slide the block out from underneath of you and set it over to the side. Squeeze the knees into the chest, this time simply crossing one ankle over the other. Grab behind your knee pits and begin to rock and roll. Give yourself a couple of rocks here just to massage the entire spine. If you want an additional vinyasa, it's yours. Planting the palms, walk, step, hop, float it back. And let's meet back into downward facing dog. We'll set up to stretch open that outer hip a little bit more. As you inhale, sweep your right leg to the sky. Bend your knee, peel open through your hip. And now step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Lower your left knee to the earth to set up for lizard lunge. Bring a block under your palms and lengthen out through the crown of your head. Stay lifted. Or option to lower down onto forearms, whether that be to a block or the earth. Let the back of the neck release. You can let your right knee slack out as much as you want here. We're supporting our weight with our upper body, so we're able to kind of let our hips do what they want. Now let's come back up onto the palms together. Slide your support just to the side. You may need it here. Start to heel toe your right foot all the way over until it comes in front of the left wrist, and then lower your hips down. So if this is not comfortable for you to come into half pigeon that way, you could always work into another seated figure 4 or a figure 4 on your back as a way to modify. Another nice way to modify is to just come into deer pose and slide that back knee in and then folding over the front thigh. If you need some support here, make sure that your hands are underneath of your shoulders so you feel that length in the spine. Water bottles, blocks, towels, they all work wonderful if you need support underneath of the hips. Make sure that your hips stay square, and as you work your way down into sleeping pigeon, if you like, folding forward, resting your head either on your fist, the block, or the floor. Deep breaths in Full breaths out. On your next inhale, when you're ready, walk your hands underneath of your shoulders. Slide any support that you have over to the side. And then tuck your back toes, lift your right leg up and back. Shake out the leg, bend the knee, roll open the hip. If you'd like to flip your dog, you might flip your dog just somewhere where you can release through your right hip flexor. And then let's meet back into a downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lifting the left leg up and back, bend your knee, peel open through your hips, squeeze the heel. Step the foot to the outside of your left hand, scoot your right foot back as far as it'll let you go, and then lower your right knee down. Starting off with lizard, grab a block, bring it under your palms, lift up through the crown of your head, keep this length in your spine, and then if you choose to lower down, maybe onto forearms, or onto a block or to the earth. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Your face and your jaw relaxed. Left knee can slack out if you like. Make sure that your left heel is still stacked under your left knee. Stay relaxed in the back of the neck. Let's meet back up onto the palms. Heel toe, your left foot over to the right until your ankle's kind of in front of your right wrist. And then lower down, either onto that knee or onto your hip. If there's still space in between your left hip and the earth, fill it in. Walk your hands under your shoulders, find a tall spine, and then keep that tall spine as you work your way forward, if you're coming forward, into sleeping pigeon. On your next breath in, go ahead and work your way back up to a nice tall spine, walking hands under shoulders, releasing any props or support that you have there. Tuck your back toes under, send your leg up and back, bend the knee, peel open through the hip, maybe flip your dog or roll out the knee. Let's meet back into downward facing dog. Pedal out one side to the other. Take an inhale, lift up onto your tiptoes, and as you exhale, lower your knees to the mat, sit back onto your heels. Bring your legs out in front of you here. You may want to turn sideways or long ways on your mat, just so that as we come into a straddle, your heels are protected. Kind of up to you how you would move there. Extending your legs out, not so wide where you're already starting to feel sensation, but just wide enough where you can maintain toes and kneecaps pointed straight up to the ceiling. Bring your hands behind you and press yourself forward to the edge of your sits bones. Stretch your arms up and then exhale, lower down, hinging at your hips until you feel sort of that edge where your inner groins are really stretching it out. Right about there is where we want to bring our hands down. But if we've got more length in the spine, maybe we walk further forward or we grab a block, find support. You could hold on to your feet or your toes here. I like to take my hands out just so that if my toes start to turn in, I can press them out and keep that external rotation in the legs. And then walk yourself back up to a nice tall seat. Let's reach the arms up. Bring your right elbow to the inside of your right knee. Stretch your left arm up and over, or hand can come behind the head for an agate stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Both arms to the sky. And now left arm in front of the left leg, or elbow to a block. Works nice here as well. And then top arm over the ear line. Keep your shoulder blades stacked. Maybe top hand comes behind the head. Press your head back into that hand to open up the shoulder. Good. Both arms reach up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Slide your block over to the side there if you're using it. Gather your knees. Bring the soles of the feet together. Grab a hold of ankles, sit up tall. And as you exhale, bow forward, pressing down with your forearms here. And inhale, come back up to a nice tall seat. Gather the knees together. Scoot forward to the top of your mat. And any support that you like on the way down, go ahead and grab it. Otherwise, just come on down to your back. Give your knees a squeeze into the chest. And then lengthen arms and legs out nice and long for final resting pose. So stretching your arms and legs away from the midline. Let your palms face open towards the ceiling. Let your breath be free. Completely surrender here for the last couple of moments of our class. I will let you know when class has officially come to an end. But for now, get comfortable. Allow your body to enjoy the stillness, to enjoy the silence, integrating everything that we just did. Deep peace to all of you. couple extra minutes to be in silence, I encourage you to stay here for as long as you can. If you decide that it's time for you to get up, begin to deepen your breath. Begin to move your body in ways that help you to reawaken. You might stretch, curl, or coil. Hug in, stretch out, twist. Eventually, let's meet on our right sides in the fetal position. Rest your head on top of your arms. Hug your knees into your belly. Take a moment to thank yourselves for showing up today. Press up with as little effort as possible. If you can, try to stay in an easy seat with the eyes closed. Otherwise, close your eyes when you find your seat. And when you get there, bring your hands together at your heart. Press your palms towards one another. Fan your fingers wide and bow your head towards your prayer hands. Take a breath in through the nose together. Out the mouth to let it go. Taking in any new wisdom or light from your practice today. Any new knowledge that you can weave into the rest of your day. Today we focused in on this idea of knowing how to self-care for ourselves, to when to self-care for ourselves, to stay committed to those routines so that our body becomes used to it and we have a purpose. Without a purpose, we're lost as to where or why we're doing these things. So when we have a purpose, when we have a reason to show up on our mats each and every day, to keep taking care of ourselves so that we can take care of others, we're able to focus in on the present moment. Thank you for sharing your energy and breath with me today. I hope you find some light and awareness to take out and spread with others. May peace, may love, may light be felt within each and every one of you. Bless you and everyone that you meet. Namaste. All right, thank you so much, yogis, for sharing your practice with me. I hope you feel good. Lots of hip openers today. If you have any questions or feedback, I always love to hear it. I am here if you need to chat. Until we see each other again, namaste.